Welcome back. It's Sunday where I'm at, or today. Not where I'm at, but it's just Sunday. I'm a little tired this morning. If you are just joining for the first time, hello. I am trying to go all the way through the Bible. That is my goal. I've been taking it a couple chapters at a time. Today I'll be starting chapter 12 of Genesis. And what's great about today's chapter is I'm getting into the story of Abraham. Now, I know that many people who aren't even acquainted with the Bible are probably familiar with the story of Abraham, or at least components of it. It's a pretty famous story. So, admittedly, I'm not going into this portion completely blind. So, I'm excited to have a new interpretation on it, having read the before parts. Um, to kind of categorize or catalog my journey so far. We had, of course, creation, Adam and Eve. Their family line led to Noah. Noah's had the flood, destroyed all the world, which I don't personally believe in. And then Noah's family line had Abraham eventually. So that's where I'm at, chapter 12. Let's go ahead and get started today. Chapter starts, it's called The Call of Abraham. The Call of Abraham, chapter 12, says, The Lord said to Abraham, go from your country, your people, and your father's household to the land I will show you. I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you, and I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing. So pretty quick on that one. Moving on to the next page. I will bless those who bless you, and whoever curses you, I will curse, and all peoples on earth will be blessed through you. So I keep saying this wrong. It's Abram right now. I know it changes to Abraham later, so it's Abram right now, so I apologies. I'm probably going to do that a lot. So Abram went to the Lord. Abram went as the Lord had told him, and Lot went with him. Abram was 75 years old when he set out for Haran. He took his wife Sarai and his nephew Lot, and all possessions they had accumulated, and the people that had acquired in Haran, and they set out, and the people they had acquired in Haran, and they set out for Canaan, and they arrived there. So, um, that's an interesting way to say I'm taking my slaves with me. I know we like to dumb things down to make the Bible shine in an earlier light. Let's just say that they had slaves. Let's just move on. Indentured servants. It was different back there. Yeah. They're slaves. So let's let's just call it what it is. Let's call it what it is. You have these Christians out here that would be so quick to call weed a drug, even though it's a plant. I agree. Weed is a drug. Abraham had slaves. So call a spade a spade. Abram traveled through the land as far as the site of the great tree of Moreh at Shechem. I'm not a Bible scholar. I'm going to be pronouncing these wrong. At the time of the Canaanites were in the land, the Lord appeared to Abram and said, To your offspring I will give this land. So he built an altar there to the Lord who had appeared to him. So we're actually tying things together now. So if you've been following along, which I've had zero views on many of these, so I doubt it. But if anyone's following along at all, back in chapter two, or sorry, chapter who was it who had the Canaanites? Um, da, 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 da. I want to say it was Ham's kids who eventually had the Canaanites. But I'm gonna circle back because I really want to tie this all together. Uh, da, da, da. Noah and the flood, God's covenant with Noah. Okay, here it is. Excuse me. So it was in chapter 9, and then you're looking down into the 26, 20, 21, 22, 23. So Ham, the father of Canaan, saw his father naked and told his brothers outside, with Shem and Japheth. took a garment and laid it across their shoulders. Um, then they walked backward and covered their father's naked body. And then right here, Noah says, "Cursed be Canaan, the lowest of the slaves. He will he be to his brothers." So this is kind of going full circle now. We were told that the Canaanites would be cursed in some way, shape, or form, and God's curse to him and them is apparently, well, I'm going to give you I'm going to give Abram the Canaanite land. That's essentially what's happening here. So he's seizing the Canaanites' property, giving it to Abram. So, and of course, that's probably going to cause some conflict, right? You come over here to my house and you say, "Hey, I like this person more. I'm going to give it to them." Like, who are you? So, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Where was I here? From there, he went towards the hills of the Bethel and pitched his tent. Oh, wait. To your, oh, sorry, I missed the sentence. To your offspring, I will give this land. So he built an altar there to the Lord, who had appeared to him. From there, he went toward the hills east of Bethel, and pitched his tent, with Bethel on the west and Ai on the east. There he built an altar to the Lord and called on the name of the Lord. Then Abram set out and continued toward Negev. So Abram in Egypt. So now there was a famine in the land, and Abram went down to Egypt to live there for a while because the famine was severe. And he was about to enter Egypt. He said to his wife Sarai, "I don't know. I know what a beautiful woman you are. When the Egyptians see you, they will say, 'This is his wife.' They will kill me, but let you live. Say you are my sister, so that I will be treated well for your sake, and my life will be spared because of you." 1 second, I need to blow my nose. I apologize. Let me, pause this for a second. There we go. Sorry about that. When Abram came to Egypt, and the Egyptians saw Sarai was a very beautiful woman, and when the Pharaoh's officials saw her, they praised her to Pharaoh, and she was taken to his palace. He treated Abram well for her sake, and Abram acquired sheep, cattle, male and female donkeys, male and female servants, and camels, slaves. But the Lord inflicted serious disease on Pharaoh and his household because Abram's wife Sarai. The Pharaoh summoned Abram. "What have you done to me?" So, wait. The Lord inflicted serious diseases on Pharaoh and his household because of Abram's wife Sarai. Well, that went from 0 to 100 real quick. Why did you do that? "What have you done to me? Why didn't you tell me she was your wife? Why did you say she is my sister so that I took her to be my wife? Now then, here is your wife. Take her and go." The Pharaoh gave orders about Abram to his men. They sent him on his way and his wife and everything he had. So he should have just been straight up. It turns out so he says, "Hey, this is my sister." Pharaoh's like, "Oh, your sister, all right. How's she doing? He treats you good. You know, if you're a dude, you're like me. Your dude has a good looking sister. Well, you get a little closer to that homie. You get a little closer to that dude." And that seems to be what the Pharaoh of Egypt did. But then he's cursed? That's crazy. He's cursed? What did he do? So, what did he do? Oh, goodness sake. Abram and Lot separate. So this is chapter 13. So Abram went up to Egypt, from Egypt to Negev, with his wife and everything he had, and Lot went with him. Abram had become very wealthy in livestock and silver and gold. From Negev, he went from place to place until he came to Bethel, to the place between Bethel and Ai, where his tent had been earlier, and where he had first built an altar. Then there Abram called on the name of the Lord. So he went to Egypt, and then he went back for what? What was I guess he went because of the famine. Yeah, that's what it says. Because of the famine was so severe. So famine hit. He went to Egypt to stay for a little bit. He gets kicked out of Egypt, essentially, because he straight up lied to the Pharaoh. And then God cursed the Pharaoh because Abram lied. So, yeah, because you lied, I'm going to hurt this guy. But let me not get into that. So it says, now Lot, who was moving about with Abram, also had flocks and herds and tents. But the land could not support them while they stayed together, for their possessions were so great that they were not able to stay together. And quarreling arose between Abram's herd and Lot's. The Canaanites and Perizzites were also living in the land at the time. So Abram said to Lot, let's not have any quarreling between you and me, or between your herders and mine, for we are close relatives. It is not the whole land before you? Let's part company. If you go left, I'll go to the right. If you go to the right, I'll go to the left. Lot looked around and saw that the whole plain of the Jordan and the Zoar was well watered, like the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt. This was before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. So Lot chose for himself the whole plain of the Jordan and set out toward the east. The two men parted company. Abram lived in the land of Canaan, while Lot lived among the cities of the plain and pitched his tent near Sodom. Now the people of Sodom were wicked and sinning greatly against the Lord. The Lord said to Abram, after Lot had parted from him, look around from where you are, the north and to the north, to the south, to the east, to the west. All the land that you see, I will give you and your offspring forever. I will make your offspring like dust off the earth, so that if anyone could count the dust, then your offspring could be counted. So go walk through the length and breadth of the land, for I am giving it to you. So Abram went to live near the great trees of Mamre at Hebron, where he pitched his tent. There he built an altar to the Lord. So lots of maneuvering around. God promising this guy the world, essentially. Because if you look around you, if I look to the east, to the west, there's nothing beyond the horizon, right? I'm just seeing into the horizon, so everything belongs to this one guy. And it makes you question, like, why is this one guy so favored? Let's continue. I'm going to go through 14 today, so 3 chapters today. Feeling ballsy. So Abram rescues Lot. At the time when Amraphel was king of Shinar, Arioch, king of Elasar, Kedorlaomer, king of Elam, and Tidal, king of Goim. These kings went to war against Bera, king of Sodom, Bersha, king of Gomorrah, Senab, king of Admah, Shemerber, king of Zeboim, and the king of Bela, that is Zoar. All these latter kings joined forces in the valley of Siddim, that is the Dead Sea Valley. For 12 years they had been subject to Kedorlaomer, but in the 13th year they rebelled. In the 14th year, Kedorlaomer and the kings allied with him went out and defeated the Rephaites. In Asheroth, Karnaim, the Zizites, in Ham, the Emites in Shevev Kirithaim, and the Horites in the hill county of Seir, and as far as Al Paran near the desert. Ooh, my lord, so many ancient names. I am tearing this apart. I sound like an illiterate buffoon. I feel terrible reading this like this. Goodness sake. But please know that I'm trying my best. So, in this section, what I'm getting here is a handful of kings allied to wipe out another kingdom, to wipe out another couple kings. So you have what was it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Went against 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 kings versus 4 kings. That seems to be what's going on. And they met in the valley of, so it says the Dead Sea Valley. That's what I'm getting there. So this is more of a telling of a war. People joining arms to fight against each other. All right. Then the king of Sodom, the king of Gomorrah, and the king of Edom, and the king of Zeboim, and the king of Bela, that is Zoar, marched out and drew up their battle lines in the valley of Siddim against Kedorlaomer, king of Elam, Tidal, king of Goyim, Amraphel, king of Shinar, and Ariah, king of Elasar. So again, there, it even says right here, 4 kings against 5. So I miscounted earlier. So 4 kings against 5. So 4 on 5, 4 kingdoms versus 5 kingdoms. Let's see what the outcome is. All right. Give me just a second. All right. It says, now the valley of Siddim was full of tar pits, and the king of Sodom and Gomorrah fled. Some of the men fell into them, and the rest fled to the hills. The 4 kings seized all goods of Sodom and Gomorrah and all their food, and they went away. So they also carried off Abram's nephew Lot and his possessions, since he was living in Sodom. So because Abram and Lot split up, one went one way, one went the others, and Lot ended up near Sodom. He was taken as I guess you could say, consolation prize of the war, as spoils of war. That is not good for him. Well, it could be. We don't know. I really don't know. It could be. It could be the best thing that happened to him, because I know these things are full of things like that. Something bad turns into something good, or something good turns into something bad. So it says, a man who had escaped had reported to Abram and Abram the Hebrew. Now Abram was living near the great tree of Mamre, the Amorite, a brother of Eshcol and Aner, all of whom were allied with Abram. When Abram heard that his relative had been taken captive, he called out the 318 trained men born in his household and went in pursuit as far as Dan. During the night, Abram divided his men to attack them, and he routed them, pursuing them as far as Hobah, north of Damascus. He recovered all the goods and brought back his relative Lot and his possessions, together with the women and the other people. After Abram returned from defeating Kedorlaomer and the kings allied with him, the king of Sodom came out to meet him in the valley of Shaveh, that is the king's valley. Then Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought out bread and wine. He was priest of God Most High, and blessed Abram, saying, "Blessed be Abram by God Most High, creator of heaven and earth, and praised be to God Most High, who delivered your enemies into your hand." So I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know Abram was this guy. I kind of thought he was more of a kind of like a vagabond traveling around with a big party of people. No. These 318 men were ready to go. You weren't just going to roll up on Abram and not get business. So I'm actually kind of impressed. Abram was not playing around. You took my my cousin, I'm going to come get you. My relative, he came and got him. So he came and got him. All right. What a beast. So then Abram gave him a tenth of everything. The king of Sodom said to Abraham, "Give me the people and keep the goods for yourself." But Abram said to the king of Sodom, "With raised hand I have sworn an oath to the Lord, the God Most High, creator of the heaven and the earth, that I will accept nothing belonging to you, not even a thread or the strap of a sandal, so that you will never be able to say, 'I made Abram rich.' I will accept nothing but with what my men have eaten, and share that belongs to them, to the men who were with me, to Aner, Eshcol, and Mamre. Let them have their share." So, great few chapters there. It's more, I would say that's more a little bit of a war story. It's still part of scripture, of course, it's in the Bible, but I was pleasantly surprised. Abram turned out to be pretty formidable, and his dudes too. You think of these kings going to war. Abram's just this little guy kind of sitting in the corner, as this is all going by. No. If he wanted to act, he could act, and they showed that. So, pleasant surprise there. So that's it today. We read chapters 13, 14, and 15. All the way up to 15. So I'm feeling pretty good today. I was really, really questioning if I should do this today. Should just, move on past this. But I'm glad I did read it today. This was a fun read. So with that, a hard read, a hard read because of all the names and the places and oh man. But if you like the video, please do share, subscribe, and I'll be back tomorrow with a new chapter of Genesis.